starts. And you go from fighting the Nazis in Germany to fighting the Soviets in Russia. Problem is, we don't know anything that's going on in Russia because the Iron Curtain descends. They don't let anybody out. They start building the Berlin Wall. And so in the early days of the CIA, they say, how do we figure out what's happening in the Warsaw Pact countries? How do we figure out what's happening in the Soviet Union? Well, there was a huge emigration of Jews leaving Russia. So we said, how do we learn what's happening in Russia? Talk to the Jews, then move to Israel. And so that was a big source for intelligence. Like, for example, when Nikita Khrushchev, he was the successor to Joseph Stalin, he gave a very famous speech in 56 called the Secret Speech, where he criticized Joseph Stalin. We learned about it through a Jewish refugee who went to Israel. And we got that source because the CIA was working with Israeli intelligence. But here's the trick. We were trading. So we got those secrets from the Jews that fled Russia in exchange for our secrets. And one of the things that we learned in the JFK files that came out this year, or at least it was a hint, is that maybe James Angleton gave our nuclear secrets in exchange for intelligence from these Jewish immigrants that left Russia and went to Israel. Now, at that time, you could, as you said, you could argue there was a national interest. We needed to learn about the Soviet Union. We needed that intelligence. We needed to fight communism. But 50 years later, these are the unintended consequences of foreign policy. Now Israel has a nuclear arsenal, and that presents a lot of challenges for us. So I guess part of the problem is that these Jewish people are playing a very long game. They're playing a very long game, and they have influence in our country, and they run their country. They also have influence in other countries too. Whereas Americans, because we're living in an open society, we don't really play a long game. We have elections every year. We don't have a kind of tribal affinity. You could say we're very disorganized, very short-term oriented. And I think that makes us vulnerable. I think that makes us less solid. So you could say Israel's a tiny fledgling country with little weapons compared to us. But who's more powerful? A very open, short-term minded country without any long-term plans, without cohesion, without a kind of national plan, or a country that is extremely tight-knit, extremely organized, has influence in many capitals, is spread out and dispersed, is pursuing a 100-year plan. In the arc of history, it bends towards the organized country, the long-term country, as opposed to ours. So my solution is, let's be like Israel. Let's be a more closed society. Let's be a more organized society.
I hear it. So when I think about it, though, and I just use my own personal experiences. This is life. I'm not talking about government, anything. But who I am closest with to in my life are people who have been loyal to me. Mm-hmm. So if I think back on this conversation that we're having about, the US getting intel, giving something to get something, there seems to be at that time a benefit both ways, like a massive benefit. Otherwise it probably wouldn't have gone that way. Right. So then you think of loyalty, right? So there is some sort of sense of innate loyalty for the United States to be loyal to Israel, whether or not right now today they're giving as much as they gave us then, as we gave them, as we're giving them now, right? So, because I can think of my life, I'm like, okay, the people that I'll still ride for, I'll still be there for, who have been there for me no matter what, are the people who've been loyal to me, not the people who were disloyal to me. So that's what I'm saying, like, because I see a lot of your messaging and it's about America first, and I get it, and a lot of, I think, young people also are like, yeah, like let's stop, which I agree with to an extent. Let's stop giving all of our shit away. Let's stop giving our money away. Let's put it here. Let's fix all the problems here, right? Let's be able to buy fucking homes. Let's be able to do things like we should be able to do at this point, given the economical point of this world where we're living in this, the richest time, and everyone's so fucking rich, but people can't buy a home, right? But there is this like loyalty maybe that they have because of those moments. So who's to say when that loyalty has to die?
I would say that it's really a question of who you're loyal to. And when you look at Israel, there has been this relationship for many years, and nominally we're giving to get, in the sense that in name we're getting something. But when you look at what we get, it's dubious how much they really benefit us. Like even during the Cold War, there were many analysts that said during that time that the intelligence they gave us was useless. And not only was it useless, it was counterproductive because they had their own agenda. And we thought that we were kind of getting a bulwark against communism, and they were our aircraft carrier, is what Joe Biden and AIPAC have said. In reality, they were giving us a lot of misleading information to steer us so that, for example, we would take a tougher stance towards Egypt or towards their adversaries or even towards the Soviet Union. And so we have a relationship. Ostensibly, we're trading things, but it almost goes back to what is really their objective as a nation. If they are truly distinct from us, we're Christian and European, they're Jewish, ethnically and religiously. When they have this long-term goal, they have this ideology where they're deeply suspicious of us, distrusting of us because of the legacy of anti-Semitism. Are they going to be a long-term partner? Do they have our best interests in mind? And I would say that we must regard them with a mutual suspicion. In the same way that they distrust us, we should distrust them. And I'll give you an example, which is a little frightening. In 2024, Israel goes to war against Hezbollah in Lebanon, and they detonate the pagers. Secretly, a long time ago, they had used shell corporations and all kinds of corporate obscurity to create these pager and radio devices for Hezbollah. Hezbollah was buying them from Israel, their mortal enemy. And Israel planted remote-controlled explosive devices inside the pagers. And the entire time, for years, Israel was spying on the communications on the devices, and then, when necessary, hit a trigger and detonated all of them simultaneously. And it blew up people's legs, their heads. Wherever they had the pager, it detonated. Now, you consider that in America, many of our tech companies are deeply involved with Israel. Much of our defense procurement and our tech procurement, you have people like Alex Karp, people like Sean McGuire that are deeply loyal to Israel, that are controlling for commercial and military purposes our tech devices.
Is this the Palantir stuff?
It's part of it.
Okay.
Palantir's only a part of it. Now you consider, if they can listen in on Hezbollah's pagers and then blow them up, you think they don't have an insurance policy on us? Now, it's not to say, I'm sure there's not a bomb in my iPhone right now, but would you trust them to make your iPhone?
Steve Jobs would never.
Steve Jobs would never, but Sean McGuire.
But they're made in China, though, no?
Well, and look at who Israel's getting into bed with. They're getting into all these supply chains. They're getting into Taiwan. They're getting into Japan, South Korea, where this stuff is made. And so you never know where they're made, because Hezbollah, they didn't know where their pagers were made.
My shit says made in China when it came in the box.
And maybe it is. And maybe it isn't. But that's the kind of thing where it's like, I'm trying to impress upon people. It's not even like, oh, we have pagers in our bombs. It's not even
bombs in our pagers.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is to say they are a country, we're a country. They have a distinct national interest. They're threatened by us, and we should be threatened by them. Because in the game of geopolitics, it's the big knife fight. Everybody's fighting everybody else all the time. And I don't, given the record of how they've treated other countries in particular and how they've treated us, they've perpetrated false flags against Americans. You know, they've attacked us.
Yeah, one of my biggest things, like, without getting into too many of like the false flag attacks, I mean, there's a ton of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could talk about this shit for the whole day.
Yeah, it's a huge topic.
But one of the things that I can't wrap my mind around, if I'm the Israeli government and in this conversation about Gaza specifically in the war right now, are third-party journalists allowed to be in document what's happening in Gaza? And they straight up just say on Google, no, they're like, it's super strict. They don't allow them unless it's like, military is like sort of with them, or there's like censorship. Mm-hmm. It's like just they're willfully saying it. Mm-hmm. And so for me, one of the biggest like red flags of the whole thing, and I watched the interview with Netanyahu, obviously, in the Nelk Boys. They did their podcast, and I saw that they spoke to you afterwards. Mm-hmm. But they're asking this guy about, what's happening, and at sort of every corner or every turn, it's Hamas. Hamas is doing this. This is what's happening, right? They're killing people. They're doing this. They're shooting women. Whatever it is. In Iran, same thing. He's saying, but there's this massive red flag of like, well, if it is exactly what someone says it is, then why are certain third-party publications not allowed to go and report
in Israel? Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Why are they not allowed to report on that? Because they're going to find out the truth.
And that's, I guess for me, and this is the thing, man, like it's not, I can't say about anyone's religion belief or like right to a land or no right to a land, whatever it is. But I can say as a logical thinking human that if we're not allowed, you know, a third party to go check, hey, what's happening over there? Can we write about it? Can we shoot some video? Can we report on it? It's so hard to make the conclusion that something bad isn't happening or something wrong isn't happening with that being true.
Right.
And so like, I don't have to, it's not about Jewish people. It's not about, you know, a religion. And I just like, I can't but help see that and know that and see that reported. You can just Google it and you go, that's interesting.
Right.
And those are the things that catch me up on this whole conversation that I'm just like, it's hard to look away. It's hard to see that, okay, something here is maybe a little bit amiss. And it's kind of frustrating. Like, I'll give you another example. I watched I didn't watch the whole podcast, saw a clip with Joaquin Phoenix talking to Theo Vaughn about, Theo Vaughn came out and said, basically, you know, I don't know so much about this, but I know it feels wrong what's happening there. And I don't really know how to talk about this. And he got a lot of love. He got a lot of hate, obviously. But then he had Joaquin Phoenix come on, who is a massive A-list celebrity. And he essentially told Theo Vaughn, I came on your podcast because I saw what you said. And he's kind of dancing around saying that it's bad, but still saying that, like, you know, for a lot of people, we feel like we can't talk about this. And that's another example of like, I can't help but get around the idea that if we have to avoid conversation around something because of the fear of, you know, if you say otherwise, then you just don't like Jewish people.
Right.
Like I've even avoided conversations like this for so long because I'm like, I don't want someone to say something about me that's not true. Like I don't dislike anyone.
Right.
Like I don't dislike black people, Jewish people, Asian. I don't give a like, I genuinely don't care. I genuinely care about right and wrong. And if you can't have this open view of something, then I can't logically go, it's just right.
Right.
My brain goes, it feels wrong no matter what you say about it, Hamas or the terror, and they're doing all this stuff. And I'm sure there's things that are terrible that's happened to Israeli people and, you know, October 7th and all these things. But if everything after the fact, because I was reading further on this, you can't go, it was after October 7th, they didn't allow this. And so it's like, it just feels bad. And then you see like a big prominent figure in Hollywood say that, you know, we can't really talk about this. Is like that, in my opinion, that's the overarching thing that like, that's why there's this massive uproar, which is something also interesting. I saw recently, Charlie Kirk came out and did this whole like sort of think group with a bunch of, you know, Gen Zers, like, how do you guys feel about Israel and what's your perception of Israel and this? And they're all saying sort of the stuff we're talking about now, as far as like, let's keep the money here. Let's keep the focus on America. And even him, and even, you know, I don't know how many weeks ago, Tucker Carlson talking about it. And it's just like this fear of, if you just said anything that was against this idea, or even just question what's happening, that you're a bad person and you don't like Jewish people. And that just feels wrong. Like I don't have skin in the game. It just feels wrong.
Right.
And that's the frustrating part of this whole conversation about just what's exactly happening and why it's happening and who's benefiting from it or whatever. Because they're real people getting killed. There's kids, there's women. Like you could Google how many, it's 20,000, this many people, women and children. And you're just like, you can't just go, it's just because of them every time. And it's just it's a tough thing to talk about. I know like it pisses a lot of people off, but I guess the only sort of silver lining here is that it feels like we're getting to a point where we can actually just say, hey, this is wrong. Like likely back when the COVID thing was a thing, and it was like, you can't say that, and you can't talk about ivermectin, and it's a horse dewormer, and Joe Rogan's getting smeared. And then years later, they're like, well, it's actually won a Nobel Prize and been the use in humans forever. And like, it actually did really help against this. And it's hard to believe, it's hard to have trust in, you know, these governments and our government, right? Where I've experienced, I mean, personally, I had my gym open during COVID. I'm going to court. I go to court 8 times and I'm keeping my gym open here in California down the street. And they're like, I'm going there. I'm like, give me a reason why this is different than, you know, and this is a completely separate, this isn't about someone dying. This is not even as important. I mean, COVID was about people dying. That was the problem with, like, you know, the at-risk people who were having problems. There were people passing from that, right? I'm not to say that wasn't a problem in any sense, but the idea that, like, they so vehemently wanted you to just agree with what they wanted you to believe just feels wrong. Like, that feels like the least American thing, period. Like, America was founded because they were trying to leave Britain and be like, we want sovereignty. We want to be able to orchestrate how we want to orchestrate without all these taxes, or you taking us this for that. And like, that's how it was founded. And it's almost like history, get back to the point of control and power, and it happens all over again.
Right.
And I think that's why we're here. In a lot of ways, it seems like just unavoidable, but it's fucking sad.
Yeah, it is. Well, and you hit the nail on the head. It is an issue of sovereignty. I'm glad you connected it that way, because that is the operative word, is Americans want to feel in control. And we feel like when we see what's happening in Israel, what is also deeply disturbing about it is we're paying for it. Those are our missiles. That's our military supplies. And our government is ostensibly opposing it. You know, Joe Biden.
But I'm sorry, I interrupted. The thing that really fucks me up, and I'll let you continue, I apologize, is, you know, we talk about our money and it's going. I can't also get over the fact that it's for profit. It's for these giant conglomerate companies, because we pay the money, we give the money, but it's so they can buy the stuff from us, so that someone here who is a shareholder of whatever company that makes bombs or makes plane parts, or, you know, this military industrial complex, right, makes money. And so it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the money just doesn't go directly to Israel. Like, it goes to them to pay for us to make stuff.
Most of it does, yeah.
That's where most of it goes. So it's like, it's all, maybe it's like a nihilist or just cynical, but it's like, it's all for money. Like, at the end of the day, like, that's where it's like, you know, it's all guised in, like, you know, religious beliefs or, you know, who has this land versus who doesn't have this land. But then it all comes back to money in that person's pocket. Just like COVID was for the big pharma. Like, you know, oh, this is free, but it's not free because we took all your tax dollars and paid Pfizer. And it's like, I can't get over, like, damn, this just feels so bad. And I think a lot of people feel this way. It's like, what do we even do?
Right.
How do we really ever change this? Because it's not like you're going to take these companies. I mean, America is like government, but also corporate. It's like, and it's just this giant cycle of forever, let's print money. Our money that we actually earn is worth less. And then the money that they take from us, they also give here. Then it goes back to those companies. And it's just a giant cycle of, like, do we ever actually really get out of this?
I don't know. I mean, that is really the question on everybody's minds. And I think part of the frustration with Trump is that, or at least for me, I thought that we would vote for Trump and he would be able to get us out of the matrix. He would kind of get in between that process, because that was his whole appeal. Is he said the reason that things are not working for Americans is because the politicians are being bribed. They're all talk, no action, and that's because they're controlled by donors and special interests. The solution was, I will run as an outsider. I will self-fund my campaign. I won't take PAC money or special interest money, and that will enable me to deliver the real victories. I could break the corruption. But after 12 years, I mean, from 16 to 29, when he leaves office, do you really see a lot of that? I mean, we got this bill. It's a corporate tax cut by cutting Medicaid. It's more aid for Israel and Ukraine, actually. It's, in the end, going to be more H-1B visas, more H-1A visas. And so you look at a guy like Trump and say, especially for me, my entire adult life, I've been fighting this battle in a way on behalf of Trump. That January 6th, I campaigned in 16. And in the end, you say, what was it all for? He was the most radical option at one time, the outsider, the burn it to the ground guy. And now he seems to have delivered everybody back into the political system.
I hear you. And the thing that's frustrating, like, it seems like the one issue that really did change, though, that is like, I don't want to say it's not as important. It's important to a lot of people. Like, the one thing that really changed was maybe the perception or like the okaying of this whole, I mean, it's just, I guess it sounds kind of dumb, but it was just like the women in fucking men's sport, or the men in women's sports. That was a piece of it, but that was negligible to like the rest of it. The thing that I couldn't get over was like this whole, like, he's doing interviews and all these people are doing, you know, he's on Joe Rogan. He's talking about releasing these files, the Epstein stuff. And he's like kind of campaigning on that. I don't know. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And like you said, yeah, like, let's drain the swamp and all these things. And then you get in there, and then I couldn't believe how this Epstein thing was handled. Like, it went from, you know, also the Ukraine thing. Yo, I'm gonna end the war as soon as I'm in office, I'll end the war. And now it's like, yeah, we just recently gave more money again, because they need it. I don't know. I saw some sort of press interview where he's saying like they need it, they really need it. We're sending more money. And then the Epstein thing, yeah, I'll release that. Like, you know, some people, you know, it's going to affect a bunch of people. And, you know, I forget his exact wording, but like, I'm going to come out and I'm going to release that. And then it was like, yeah, there's nothing there. Like, Kash Patel comes out on Joe Rogan. Yeah, like, if I had it, I would just give it. And then you got Pam Bondi saying, yeah, I have it on my desk, thousands of hours of this. Then you have a woman in prison for 25 years, I believe, the Ghislaine Maxwell lady. Ghislaine Maxwell, excuse me, for this crime in relationship to Epstein. And if there's a crime, then there has to have been perpetrators, because there were victims who they were paid out, even like a settlement from like Chase or JP Morgan, whatever it was, because he was like using their bank account. So they paid out to the victims. I don't know exactly the details of that, but I know that happened. And so if you're paid out victims, that means the victims had to have said, well, that's the person, but then we don't get any of it. And then they act like it wasn't there. And then it's a hoax, a Democratic hoax. And then they come back and they go, okay, now we're getting them. And now we're talking to Ghislaine Maxwell right now. And it just feels wrong. Like, there's no other way to put it. And right. It's frustrating to me, because like the same thing, I hear it and I believed it. And I'm like, yeah, this is the direction we're going in, is let's get rid of this shit. Like, let's really be about America. Let's not let it be about all this other stuff. And let's get these people who are just collecting money and feeling lying in their pockets, get them out. And it's like, it's like, all right, now let's talk about Obama. And I'm just like, dude, I can't follow it. And it's frustrating to me, like, genuinely, because you want it. You just want it to be better. And then you just want, like, it should be the government, which is what it would stand for originally, for the people, not for the corporations, not for more money, not for, you know, they buy this so that he gets some money there because they said they would buy it from them. And they're like, cool, hands. Oh, here's $1 million here. It's like, it just feels fucked, dude.
Yeah, well, it stinks. The whole thing stinks. I mean, you know, and the best part is these conservatives, they were on this for 6 years. You know, from 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself until now. Even Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, who are at the FBI, Don Jr., J.D. Vance, they all said for 5 years, I wonder why they won't release those files. It's because of who's in them. You know, they were for years saying that there was something in them. The government wouldn't release it because it would damn everybody who's involved, or many of these elite people. The second they get in, they start obfuscating and they start to say, well, we did a phase 1 release. Remember, they put those binders out for what a joke that was. Then they say, well, we'll put them out on Friday. We'll put them out next week. Well, we'll put them out eventually. And then, I mean, the way they handled it a few weeks ago, even Trump's biggest supporters, they're still on his side, but they say how that was handled. It's almost boggles the mind how they did it so poorly. They put out this memo from the DOJ, and they effectively denied the basis of the whole thing. They say there is no list, and not only is there no client list, but he never engaged in blackmail at all. Really? Jeffrey Epstein never engaged in blackmail? Why did he have microphones and cameras all over his sex island then?
And that's like confirmed.
Yes, there's pictures of it.
Yeah, Dude, it just none of it feels good, man. I read it and I'm like, it really feels like we live in a Black Mirror episode. And it's just like, it's almost like, it's starting to become obvious the smoke screen or the setup of, oh, let's, we're dealing with Iran now, or it's Obama's a guy now, a bad guy. And not that I know that he was ever to be a good guy. But it's just like, fuck, this is really tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, well, it's totally on the nose. I mean, it's the most prolific child trafficker in U.S. political history. Trump is covering it up, which is such a betrayal because to me, that's the Black Mirror. Because if Kamala Harris was doing this, you'd say, oh, of course. Like, we expect that from the Democrats. You expect that from, if Joe Biden did it, you'd say, it wasn't even Joe Biden. It was his handlers. He's not even the president. Like, nothing would surprise you. But when Trump does it, that's the trip. Because it's like, you thought this whole movement was the furthest right thing. This was our get out of this option. And if he's covering it up, then you say, what is real and what is fake? This is a whole matrix. And that's obviously why he's covering it up, because he's in it.
Yeah, the whole thing, man, is just, it's tough because this like, you can't, I just always felt this way about the government, that it didn't matter. It didn't matter red or blue.
Right.
Like, that's why I've always just been sort of somewhat disconnected from it, slightly connected to it, wanting it to be better, because it just always felt like, the same body, just different hands. One's red, one blue. And then this one, they realized the public liked this one a little bit more, so they went with it. And then it just seemed like that was the way to, coerce people to still believe in the system, the establishment. With the Epstein stuff, it's super interesting because there's just too much leading to it. Like, this guy he's like damn near a billionaire. I don't know, $600 billion he's worth. I guess his bank account's still moving money. It's like, how did this guy create all this wealth? There's so many questions around how did this come to be like, oh, the guy just became a half a billionaire, maybe a billionaire in some cases, like just like randomly. And we know that he's a child sex trafficker. So it's like this giant issue on a massive scale. Like that's easily the worst thing in the world is being someone that takes advantage of kids. Like you can't say that that's not the worst thing ever. Cause like there's so much innocence, right? And an adult has so much wherewithal to know what's right and wrong, or should. So you can't look away from it. And I think that's the thing that they ran into. Like, no one's going to look away from this. And then when you hear the, like, why are we still talking about it, stuff that Trump said, or you see these politicians on the internet being like, why are we still, there's other things to worry about, like the border and like there's the trafficking there. It's like, yeah, it's true, but those things can all be true, but that doesn't make this not still a massive issue that needs to be understood, that needs to be sorted out, that needs to be fixed.
Right.
Like, obviously you can't go back and undo what has happened to these children or to these people that are now adults. But to let it just go and it just be like, that was never a thing, is very scary. It's very scary. And I don't know. It's like, what do? You can't, because here's the fucked up thing. It seems they're going to release something, right? And now at this point, you're like, what's real?
Right.
Because you can release anything. And that's the weird part. But then my brain also goes, well, why didn't they just do it earlier then?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just release what it was? Maybe they didn't think that people would hold on to it as much because they, maybe the Iran thing was, okay, they would have focused on this, but no, everyone was still like, what about that? But it's just like now the trust in the government is just like completely I think at an all-time low. Whether it's blue or red, it doesn't matter, because the way this was handled was so absurd. And now you could release something, and the same people who were like, release it, we need it, are probably just going to be like, but that's probably not true.
Right. Well, because of this whole process, you can't, because they put out a memo that said there's nothing else. And when you say it stinks because they're clearly lying. They said there's something, they said there's nothing. And now if they come forward 2 weeks and say, oh, we found something. Okay, so what happened to the DOJ memo where they said there's no other files? They said the only thing that's left is child. There are no other files. There's nothing else. It's just graphic images of children. And people said, well, are there adults in those videos or pictures? They said, no, it's just like commercial pornography. It's just explicit material. Now they're going to say, oh, actually, we found some files that we're going to release. We're asking for testimony. So you say, what happened then a few weeks ago? I thought there was nothing. And this is being prodded along, ironically, by the media. It's the New York Times. It's the Wall Street Journal. They reported the other day, Trump is sitting on 100,000 files right now, 100,000 Jeffrey Epstein files when they said there were none. So now they're going to go to this Ghislaine Maxwell. They're giving her this limited immunity to say, if you testify, we're not going to prosecute you on the basis. But obviously, she has every incentive to lie to get a presidential pardon.
Yeah.
And they have every incentive to get her to lie. Tell us something that we can use and we'll pardon you. She says, I'll tell you what you want to hear as long as I get my freedom. And it's just like I said this on my show, as someone who was a big Trump supporter, I didn't vote for him in 24. This is like a fundamental betrayal. Because you know what this reminds me of? Pizzagate. This is identical to Pizzagate. And many people voted for Trump in 16 because of that kind of corruption. We identified Hillary Clinton. She was synonymous or emblematic of that level of corruption. Like you said, the sickest shit, which is kids, compounded by using it for blackmail for a foreign intelligence service. We voted for Trump largely as a middle finger to that brazen corruption and the cover-ups and lies and the sordid shit they did. And now to see Trump effectively do something identical to that, which is where you had Comet Ping Pong, now you have Epstein's Island. Where you had James Alefantis, now you got Jeffrey Epstein. In the same way they covered it up then with these cryptic messages about pizza and hot dogs, now you got this stuff now with Trump's birthday message to Epstein. Real or not, there's a lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird communications between them. And you say, like you said, if Trump is part of it, then where's up and where's down? If Trump is a part of the Matrix, if he's part of some kind of pedophile ring or covering up for it, how do you get out of it? And I agree with you. I think that the answer is it can't be red or blue. Voting Republican and Democrat, one hand washes the other. It's obvious. That's why I didn't vote in this election. And so you really need someone radical to step up that is maybe not even necessarily radically right or radically left, but is just going to end the corruption for the country. And you could say maybe there's a compromise, give us health care and close the border, but somebody needs to step up that says, I'm just not a part of this sick shit, because I'm with you. I can't stand it anymore.
Do you think there's even a possibility for that? Because there's so many nuances, and there's so many people who will go, oh, well, you know, this is happening this way for this long game of, like, you know, he has a plan, you know? Or do you think it's like going to be someone like Elon Musk? You know, I know he introduced the American Party. Do you think it's something like that would be able to actually take hold? Because there's so much power already that my concern with government has always been, like, for example, at times I'm like, man, I kind of want to run. I kind of want to be a part of this somehow. Like, I don't know if it's city and mayor, like something in LA, something local for myself. But then I'm like, at what point do you go where they're like, hey man, you're doing great, but check this out.
Right.
Like, at what point does it not just become the same history, the same cycle where it's like, yeah, that was the guy, you know, like we all believe that Trump was that guy. Because I genuinely did. I genuinely, and a part of me still wants to believe that, like, there is that ability to fix it. And I think it can be fixed. It's like, but is there enough want or need for it to actually be fixed from those people when they're already there or getting close to that position, when they, you know, the checkbook comes out and they're like, yo, maybe think about this.
Right.
And that's the weirdest thing I think about our government. It's just the whole lobbying, all these things. It's just like, it just makes it feel corporate. It just makes it feel like it's not for people anymore.
Yeah.
It's for, you know, private interests.
It is. Whether it's right or left, it's all for the private interests. And I don't know what the answer is. I think that my kind of goal politically has always just been to shake things up. I was never, I mean, I did vote for Trump in 16. I voted for him in 20. But I also supported Andrew Yang in 2019. And I supported Ye. I supported Kanye West in 2024.
Yeah, we got to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, in 2022. But I'm in favor of anything that shakes things up, anything where people start to think, I don't have to vote Republican. I don't have to vote for the same thing. And you just hope that between some of these maybe emerging technologies like social media and crypto and other things, and then maybe if there's any kind of calamity in the future, like a recession or some unknowable crisis, you hope that the right person at the right moment is going to be able to step up and take leadership, because that's all that's missing. Trump winning this election in a landslide shows that people are tired. People wanted him to be what we thought he was, or what some still think that he is.
Right.
The support is there. All that is needed is the leadership to provide the language, to express the outrage of the people, the will of the people, and who has kind of Trump's strength and tenacity and boldness, but isn't willing to compromise or doesn't maybe have that baggage. And, you know, that's going to be one person, one special person.
Yeah, but that's the question, is like, you that's that person until it's not.
Right.
In my head, it's like, that's the person until, you know, the powers that already existing are like, well, check this out. That's the whole point to me, is like, I don't know, like that amount of pressure, or that amount of like idea of freedom now with whatever you can do in that circumstance. That's where it just gets scary.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like a setup to fail. But the Ye thing's interesting because, like, or even the Elon Musk stuff, the American Party is like, it then just weakens, you know, all the other sort of, not even sort of, it weakens all the other parties essentially, and that's the whole fear around like this emergence of something new.
Right.
But yeah, I think there is something that needs to. I know there is something that needs to, and I think everyone feels the same way.
Yeah,
I do truly. But the stuff with Ye, like I think you've spoken about this stuff before. But how did you originally get in contact with Ye?
So he tweeted the DEF CON thing. So he went on Tucker Carlson in like October 22, and he was talking about Jared Kushner and Israel and everything. And everybody's ears kind of perked up because they said, oh, it's getting a little political. Then I think about a week later, he tweeted DEF CON 3 on the Jews, he said, and they invented cancel culture, and he got canceled. And I heard through the grapevine that he was talking to Alex Jones, who's a friend of mine. But Alex Jones, his producer, is not my biggest fan, but I knew she had his number. And so I got in touch with her through a couple of other people. I got his number. And I went out there with Milo and with John Miller and a couple people. That was back in 22. We came out to LA, and the idea was he wanted to run for president. So we were supposed to put together we were going to wind down his 2020 campaign and figure out if he could run in 2024 for the presidency. And we were there for about a week, and not even. I think we were there for a few days. And he had a pre-planned visit with Trump. That was already on the schedule. And I don't know what the basis for that was, but we got there, I think, on a Thursday, the week before Thanksgiving. And he told us, yeah, I got this meeting with Trump on Tuesday. And by Monday night, he said, I want you to go with me. I want you to go with me to the dinner. And we went, and Ye asked Trump to be his vice president in his presidential run, which is hilarious. Yeah.
You were there.
I was
so
there.
That was the first time you met Trump.
Yes.
What was that interaction like?
It was crazy. I mean, you know, because they're both my heroes. I was always a fan of Ye for as long as I've been a fan of Trump. So those are my two like icons. It's like them and Sam Hyde, actually, who you had on the show.
Yeah, Sam's crazy.
Yeah, he's the best. So he's always a hero of mine as well. So it's like these two guys together was blowing my mind. And what's funny about it is that Ye is actually he's a little bit shy, actually.
Yeah.
I could tell that he was a little, and if you watch him on some of the talk shows and spending enough time with him, you could see that he was a little bit apprehensive. He was a little anxious because he loves Trump and he respects him deeply. So he's a little quiet at first. It was actually very awkward because he wasn't talking a whole lot. And so Trump was trying to start a conversation with him. And what's really funny is Trump, he loves his iPad. He's like a big iPad kid. And he controls the music at Mar-a-Lago from the iPad.
That's sick.
He loves music. And so
I know.
He's like the DJ at that Mar-a-Lago. So his way to connect with Ye was he goes, you take the iPad, you know, why don't you pick one of your songs? That was how he was going to connect. And so Ye said, okay. So he spent about 10 minutes finding a song. And for the Kanye fans, he put on Say You Will from 808s and Heartbreaks. It's sort of an unexpected song. But then Trump starts talking about the opportunity zones for black people. He's trying to connect with them as like a black voter. I'm like, we're way past that. I'm like, dude, yay, we're watching Triumph of the Will. This guy's like a full-fledged anti-Semite. You're trying to connect with him like he's a black voter, telling him about opportunity zones and the Platinum Plan. I said, we're a little past that. But so he's trying to make conversation. It's not working. He starts talking to me a little bit. We're rapping with each other because I know everything about Trump. And then it was a pretty normal dinner. It was Thanksgiving dinner. We had turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes. And so it's a very strange situation. But then, and this was the story of the dinner, before we arrived in Mar-a-Lago, this girl who was with us, Karen Giorno, she was getting Ye some like intel about how to deal with Trump, like how to play this. And so there was this lawyer whose name was Nick, and he sent all this information to Ye about how we're going to deal with Trump. And it said, if we eat in the dining room, that means this. If we eat in the patio, he wants to show you off. If he says this, it was just like this like play-by-play. How do we handle Trump?
Interesting.
And so we're pulling up to the dinner, and we have all this intel, and Ye said, what do you think about this? And I said, I don't know, send it to me. So he forwards it to me, to my phone. Well, it turns out he accidentally forwarded it to a lawyer that Trump uses as well, whose name is also Nick.
Oh my God.
So he tried to send it to me. I never got the text. I was like, that's weird. I didn't get it. We said, oh, well, we walk in. He accidentally sent all this intel to a lawyer that Trump actually uses. So in the middle of the dinner, Trump gets a phone call. He goes, just 1 second, it was this guy. It was this lawyer. And the guy says like, hey, Trump, this is a hit job. They are here to take you out. Like they sent me this intel by accident. They must have told him that this was a setup. So Trump hangs up the phone and his demeanor instantly changes.
Holy shit.
And he starts, and my right hand of God, he immediately starts dropping the F-bomb. Mother f***ing this and that, just like, I've never seen him that angry.
Damn,
so
yeah.
furious. But it was also very subtle. He starts telling Ye, because the idea was Ye was going to run for president and was going to ask Trump to be his VP. So Trump starts telling these stories about all the black people that he helped that betrayed him. That was the subtext.
Shit.
So he says, I freed this rapper in China. The basketball player.
Brittany Griner?
No, LeVar Ball.
He was in China?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got like arrested or something. It was like an international incident.
Okay.
And so Trump was telling the story about how he freed this guy. And he says, so this basketball player, he's on the tarmac, he said, and the Chinese soldier slapped him across the face, the basketball player, and said, that's for disrespecting President Trump. That was the first story. The second story was about the rapper in, I think it was Norway or Sweden. I forget who. I think it was A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
Got arrested up there. And he says, and I called up the president of Sweden, and I said, listen, you mother, you better release him right now. And the moral of the story was these were all ingrates. These are all black celebrities that he helped that betrayed him. And then he goes to Ye, and I hosted your wife, Kim Kardashian, and I released these, or commuted the sentence of these people on her behalf.
Yeah.
He goes, and she is a disgusting human being, he said. Yeah.
Dude, he's savage, bro.
Yes.
Fuck.
He goes, and she's such a disgusting, he goes, and you could tell her I said that. I want you to tell her. Tell her I said that. She's a disgusting human being. And I was sitting there like, whoa. I'm just like a guest.
What was Ye's reaction?
He had the same reaction that I did. He was totally taken aback by it, but he goes, that's still my wife. He goes, that's my wife you're talking about. And so it's very tense. And then then Trump was like kicking us out, basically.
Yeah.
He said, your airport is right across the street. I think it's time for you to go.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And Karen is like kicking him under the table saying, remember to ask him what you came here to ask him. And Ye goes, oh yeah, will you be my vice president? And Trump loses his mind. And he goes, you can win at a lot of things, but you'll never win at this. He goes, you could be a celebrity, you're talented. He goes, but you'll never win at this. You better not run. lost his mind. He had his arms folded like a mobster. I thought he was going to start swinging. Like that's how aggressive his demeanor was. Like straight up like a gangster, like
I
Tony
kind of
Soprano.
respect that.
I do too. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that's
Even though, and even went to me, he goes, you're a smart guy. Tell him he can't win. He can never win. You tell him now, he can never win. I know you work for him, but he can't win. And I was just frozen. I was like, I don't know, maybe he can win. You know?
holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it was nuts. And so then we got kicked out. These other people wanted a picture with Trump and Ye. Trump refused to take a picture.
Oh, he's a savage.
Yeah, it was ugly. But
It didn't go too well, huh?
no.
Man. Yeah, I gotta respect that. I
Yeah,
respect that.
It was baller. He's a gangster, man.
So your relationship with Ye now, like he brings you in as what? Like a political sort of like just input?
Yeah, basically. I mean, so I've talked to him on and off over the years, and I think he respects my opinion on these things because I'm one of the only people that's as canceled as him.
Yeah.
So he brings me in to talk about politics or give him some advice on things.
He came recently back and was like, "Yo, I'm not against the Jews anymore. Not not anti-Semitic. I apologize. Love for everyone." What's your opinion on that?
It's sincere. I mean, because he really is of two minds in the sense that he is not a hateful person at all. Like, he has Jewish employees and he really loves everybody. Like, genuinely, he's a good man. But he's getting screwed over. He can't play stadiums. He has a lot of trouble doing merch, doing even album releases. These estates, they won't clear the samples for his songs. So everything he does, they are still messing with him, whether it's the music, the fashion, the shows. And so I think he's kind of on this thing where he wants to move on. His true passion is architecture. He wants to build a smart city. He wants to build houses, and he wants to get the money to do that. But every time he tries to do anything, anti-Semite, you need to apologize. And you know him, he doesn't want to apologize. He's not wrong, at least on some of his complaints. He's apologized for how he's gone about it in one way or another. People he's hurt their feelings. So he's trying to move forward, but they won't let him move forward unless he apologizes. So he tries to kind of say, I'm sorry for how that made you feel, which is not what they're looking for.
Right.
They're looking for total capitulation. And so it's kind of like one step forward, one step back for 3 years. That's kind of where he is. But he is a good man. He really does love everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a few people who know him personally who would say the same thing, for sure. What about you? Would you ever consider being like truly in politics, not just as a commentator?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it, but I just feel like the second I run for anything, they're going to throw everything I've ever said in my face.
Yeah.
And I've been so nasty and I don't think I'm a hateful guy, but I make these jokes about black people, Polish people, Mexicans, even white people, Southerners, like you name it. I don't think there's any constituency, but I mean, if there was ever a day when that stuff didn't matter, I would probably run. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned something the other day about working out's gay.
Here we go.
We got beef, dude.
We got a little beef.
It is a little gay. I will concede that. It's pretty funny, but you went on like a rant about it. You don't like working out?
I hate working out because it hurts.
So it's just because you don't like it, it's gay.
No, no. Well, look, here's what I say. I think people should work out. I think it's good for you, but the gym bro culture, it's so vain. You know what I mean? There's like mirrors everywhere and everybody's like posing and taking shirtless pics.
I know, I'm such a part of it. I'm such a creator of it, low key, actually.
Yeah, you're like a pioneer. You made it, but
there was a clip of Hassan. It was so funny saying the same shit. Hassan Piker, another commentator, where he was like, "You know who makes people gay? Bradley Martin. He owns a gym." And he just said the funny, like it's some viral clip of him talking about just like gyms being gay, basically too, which is so funny. Because there's kind of some truth to it because it is super vain. Gym bros like make a bunch of like gay jokes. I get it.
Yeah. And gay guys are really into that. Like 100%. Gay guys are so into because it's vanity. But I tell people like as long as you're doing it for the, and look, looking good is a good reason to do it. You should want to look good.
Yeah.
You should want to be healthy. But some people take it a little too far. They get a little nutty with it.
But what did you say? I forgot exactly, but you were saying that you were like, straight guys do these things. And that was funny to me. What were some of the things you were, something about, like, I don't know, it was like cigarettes or black coffee or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You just says you do say some funny,
Thanks.
which is like, it's so, and I watch your stuff. I'm just like, I guess I wish more people would see that side of you, because the majority, I think, when they get introduced to you, like you said, they get introduced to like, oh, this is Hitler stuff and this anti-Semitic stuff, and I get it because of the stuff that you talk about, and that's what I was kind of saying earlier about blending the politics with the comedy. Is like, I don't know if that, like you said, trying to actually do political stuff might really come back and punch you in the face, because like, what about this? And then a whole group of people is like, nah, he said that, which is interesting. I think that concept's interesting too, because there is this whole thing of like not allowing people to grow from things, right? Like, obviously there's certain things you can't grow from, like pedophilia.
Right.
Like you did that, you're probably a scumbag forever, and like we should put you somewhere where the light doesn't shine. But beyond that, like, there are things, I don't know if you saw the stuff with Neon. I don't know how tapped are you in with like just social media in general, but he goes on the Breakfast Club, gets like railed by the interviewers, trying to get him to basically like submit and just say sorry for stuff that like was in his past when he was a kid. There is this whole, like, people don't let things go on the internet.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just words. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a big believer in, like, we are such a hypersensitive culture where it's like, you know, people get canceled over nothing these days, over even on the left, you know, like that Harry Sisson got canceled because he led on a bunch of different girls.
That was insane.
That's your life, you know?
By the way, we interviewed him on Steiny's pod. He had him on here, and he said he wasn't even hooking up with the girls.
Yeah,
he had to say sorry. He like said sorry.
It's bullshit, you know? And I think people kind of just need to let people breathe a little bit. And as far as words are concerned, people like to say, oh, you know, 6 years ago, you said this. It's like utterances, like we said things years ago. Now, it's one thing, like you said, if you have a legit problem, if I ever expressed a viewpoint that was like, I hate all this group of people, you would have to demonstrate I've moved past that. I no longer have that view.
Absolutely.
But if it's like, well, you said these words, it's like, well, that was a joke, or what I meant was this. To me, that's a little different. And I think that a lot of it, maybe it's because I'm a guy, you know, and we have very female culture. They want to get you on a show and say, I disavow you, or else you have to apologize. And I just think that's bullshit. I hate that kind of stuff. You know?
Kind of like what Candace sort of did with you.
Exactly.
And it was interesting. And even the funny thing, like, there's this, I don't know where this was said, if it was said, but I think the N-word thing, you saying that, and then Pat Bet David was like, I won't have him on because of this. I wonder if you'll ever do that interview. I think eventually that'll come.
I think
you
so.
should.
Yeah,
I like him. I like him in a lot of ways. Some of his co-hosts, I'm like, they say some weird shit. I was like, what? But I like him. I've had him on. He's great at communicating as well. I think that'd be a really good show if you did that. I know you had a little bit of a thing with Candace. How did that go?
Well, you know, I've known of her for many years, and so last year we had a little bit of a beef because she left the Daily Wire, and she was saying a lot of the same things that I've been saying for many years. You know, she was criticizing Israel, but in particular, she said, America first, Christ is king, which in the conservative space, those are like my slogans. I'm not claiming ownership over both of those because they're common phrases, but everybody kind of said.
And yeah, to clarify too, sorry. America First was first introduced when? Well, who said this?
In the 40s.
Yeah. And I had to forget, was some president?
It was Charles Lindbergh.
That's right. So you obviously knew about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like there's like a lot of conversation that, like, you know, I hear this Laura Loomer chick say that this is Trump's thing and he started this.
Right.
I would agree in some cases that he was the most prominent figure today that is speaking about that is relating to that. You know, and her relationship to trying to make it about Israel, whatever. Those are just to be determined, right?
Right.
But yeah, she also called you an ingrate. That
she
was
did,
crazy.
Yeah, love that.
But forget her. Let's get back to the Candace thing.
Yeah, but so about a year ago, everybody was expecting that we were going to collaborate, because I got canceled by Ben Shapiro. So did she. We got canceled for the same reason. And people were begging her for this collab in her comments and her live chat. And she said, well, I can't do the collab because of YouTube. And people said, well, do it on Rumble. Do it on your website. She said, well, I can't do it because I'm in this lawsuit. And, so I was frustrated. And I started criticizing her not only for that, but for other things. She started saying it's the Frankists. I don't know if you remember this, but, for a long time, she was criticizing Israel's role in Gaza. Then she said, actually, it has nothing to do with Jewish people. It's this Frankist conspiracy. They're the followers of Jacob Frank, this rabbi.
Help me out here, because I don't even know what Frankist is.
Nobody does. It's fake. It's fake nonsense.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's this esoteric Jewish mystic from the 17th century. They called them the Sabbatean Frankists, and they were a religious, mystical Jewish cult. They believed that, and this is complex stuff, but they believed that in order to achieve sanctity, in order to repair the world, they had to do every action, not only the good actions, but the evil actions also. And in doing the evil actions, they would be able to repair the universe. And this is all like Kabbalistic theology. And anyway, Candace
But that
believes,
has no relationship to Judaism.
well, it is Jewish mysticism. It's a sect of Jewish mysticism. And many believe that Sabbatai Zevi in 1666 was the Jewish Messiah. He was the progenitor of this. And then Jacob Frank was one of his acolytes years later who claimed to be like the reincarnation of Sabbatai Zevi. And so they call his followers the Frankists. Now, there's this conspiracy that the followers of Jacob Frank, that what they are is Satanists, effectively. They have infiltrated all the world religions, the Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, and there's this satanic conspiracy on top of the Jewish conspiracy, and they're sort of using the Jews on their behalf. And there's really no evidence that this is the case. There's no evidence that Jacob Frank had any long-lasting influence beyond his time and his area. There's no evidence that there are these ritualistic satanic converts or anything. And in any case, they were mystic Jews anyway. So I mean, that's food for thought. But anyway, so she was saying this kind of stuff. And I said, that's really a diversion. That's a red herring. Like, that's not the truth. And she hits me up on Twitter a year ago and says, well, you should have just asked to be on my show. And I said, well, I thought the problem was YouTube. I thought the problem was a lawsuit. Now you say if I just asked, you would have had me on. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. It was a year ago. All this time has passed. We're in the middle of the war with Iran, and the United States just bombed Iran the day after. And my show got 70,000 live viewers the night that happened. So my show's blowing up. It's huge. She texts me the day after. Hey, where are you based out of? I say, Chicago. She goes, well, would you come down to Nashville? I said, sure. I said, are we doing a collab? She goes, yeah, let's do a collab. I said, okay. I said, is it going to be friendly? I said, I know we've had some problems in the past. I said, are we going to talk about Iran and be friendly? She goes, LOL, I don't set people up. I said, okay. So I fly down there at a moment's notice. She texts me on a Sunday. I flew down on Wednesday. I go there, I do her show. And the first thing she says to me is, you talk so much shit. She asked me about my background. I say, well, I got canceled for asking these questions, such and such. She goes, is that why you hate Jews? Did that make you hate all Jews? I said, no, I don't hate all Jews. I don't hate anybody. She goes, okay, well, here's a clip. Do we have a clip? She plays a clip of me from my show where I'm laughing and joking and I'm saying, Candace Owens does Dave Smith's show. He's a Jew. She does Aiden Ross's show. He's a Jew. But she doesn't do my show. What's going on? And I'm joking about it. And she goes, well, so you just said you don't hate anybody, but here you are. You seem to have a problem with them because they're Jewish. And it turns into this like 2-hour struggle session where it's like, why do you hate Jews? Why do you hate Dave Smith? Why are you racist? Why are you this? And
do you hate Dave Smith?
No. I consider him a friend.
Yeah.
I disagree with him, but I like him. And I think he's a very intelligent guy. But it turned into this big drama fest where she's reading me the riot act about all this shit that happened a year ago and the race issue, asking me about interracial marriages, which it's like, why? I mean, there's so much happening in the world. Then she takes the interview at the end of it and she goes, I'm going to put it behind a paywall for $2 and I'll release it for free later. I'm like, well, why do that? So I go on my show and I say she should put it on Twitter for free. Why put it? If the problem was censorship and the lawsuit, that's why she couldn't have me on.
Right.
Why are you now going to put it behind the paywall? So then she hits me up and she's about it and she goes, well, why didn't you tell me to put it on Twitter in person? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think of that in person. I said, are we really now going to debate this? And so we get in this intense back and forth. And I tell her, I said, look, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like how that went. I said, this was a missed opportunity. You're a big figure. I said, I'm an important figure. We've had a very similar experience. We're in the middle of a war. I said, we should have talked about this. We should have filled up the 2 hours with something substantive. I said, you wanted to relitigate drama and nonsense. I said, that was a missed opportunity. I said, and then you want to monetize it? I said, that's BS. And so she gets real nasty with me, and it got very ugly at the end of it. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't hate Candace Owens.
Yeah.
I don't have a big problem with her. And I think she's doing good work. She's bringing a lot of people around to the truth. And she throws in a lot of nonsense about Brigitte Macron and other stuff I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I think that's nonsense. But
Yeah, that is. She's saying that this dude is married to his dad.
yeah, that the French president's wife is not just a transgender man, but is also his father. He's married to his, and I'm like, you lost me. You know, I mean, that's a little out there. But so I don't hate her.
It's so funny how that's the line for you, though. Like,
Well, because
what?
that's crazy. Like
Yeah,
that's,
like- dude,
you lost me.
you're
with-
funny to me. That's the line. No. That.
I mean, come on. He's married to. Maybe she's transgender, but she's his dad. Come on.
It's insane.
I mean,
It's a little insane.
that's a little out there. And I have my reasons why I think she's pushing that. I don't know how sincere that is, but
What do you think that is? Why do you think she's pushing that?
I honestly, this is going to sound maybe equally crazy, but I think it's like Russian propaganda because France is Russia's mortal enemy right now for a variety of reasons. Because France is pushing the Ukraine war harder than anybody, and because Russia is overthrowing all of France's.
France wants the Ukraine war harder than anyone. You're
Yes.
saying? Okay.
They want their troops in Ukraine. There are their troops in Ukraine.
Okay.
And Russia is overthrowing all of the French allied governments in Africa, which France relies on. So they're like suffice to say, they're mortal enemies right now. And I think, why would somebody be so fixated on Macron, of all people, the French president? What does that have to do with us? And there's this salacious scandal. So, and one of the things this is maybe a bridge too far for you or for the audience, but one of the things I've really learned over the time that I've been doing this, in addition to the rabbit hole of Israel and the Jewish religion and the rest of it, is the extent to which so much of the media is involved with the intelligence agencies. And so maybe 2 years ago, I didn't believe any of that. Now, I think that the Russians, and to an extent, yes, the Qataris, the Emiratis, the Saudis, the Turks, the Israelis, they all have a hand in a lot of the media. And the Tenet thing was a huge scandal. You remember Tenet Media, where
Yeah.
Tim Pool and Lauren Chen and Dave Rubin, they were getting $10 million from the Russians.
Confirmed.
Yes, from Russia. And it was a huge scandal. And that and other things kind of woke me up to the overlap. Now, that's a theory. That's pure speculation with Candace. That's my hunch. I haven't done a deep dive on that, and I have no proof of that. But you just try to, like we were talking about earlier, how do you discern? Why is she going so hard against the French president? You say, well, who has it out for France right now? You say, well, Russia. And who else has it out for France? Well, France just recognized Palestine's
I saw
statehood.
that, and I saw that, and I saw it was a long tweet that just seemed to be like, there needs to be peace and all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know which American government official. I saw they quote tweeted it and was like, this is like, you're supporting terrorists. And it was like,
Mhm.
that's not exactly what it said.
Right.
It is interesting to see those things where I read it, I don't respond to it, but I go, but like his whole thing was basically like you said, recognizing Palestine
Mhm.
and saying that this should stop, essentially, with
Right.
like other words. And the reaction of a American diplomat was basically like, this is supporting terrorism. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah. And that's what the Israelis said. They said, you are rewarding terrorism. You're on the side of the terrorists. You're going to get Israel annihilated. They said you're crusading against Israel to destroy Israel for saying he recognizes Palestinian statehood. Now, France historically has always been hypercritical of the neocons. He was, not Macron in particular, but France was against the war in Iraq. They're against any campaign against Iran. They're pro-Palestine. They're against Israel's involvement in Lebanon. So, and what you realize is that Israel and Russia are very tight for the reasons we talked about earlier, because there is such a big Russian Jewish diaspora that left Russia to go to Israel. So Russia and Israel are like this. Russia hates France. Israel now hates France. Now, when you see someone gunning for the French president, and there were even rumors, WeSearcher, which was run by Chuck Johnson years ago, they had a campaign saying that Macron was a gay man in 2017. So you have these elements on the right wing that over 10 years are perpetrating this campaign to say Macron is gay. No, his wife is a man. His wife is his dad, actually. And you say, who hates Macron the most? If it's Russia and Israel and they're in connection, cui bono, who benefits? Maybe there's something going on there. But that's...
But also, they did some sus shit at the Olympics.
At the Paris Olympics?
Yeah.
Like what?
It was just the weird... You didn't see that?
The opening ceremonies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little sus. Yeah. He's not... I don't love him, but I just see the people that are against him.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well, dude, that's like getting into... What? You thinking at some point someone comes and says, hey, Candace, you have this big platform. Maybe use it for a little bit of this. Here's some money.
I don't know if it's that
because
explicit.
they didn't call you a Fed too, right?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone gets called a Fed like that, but and on some level you have to be careful with everybody. But I don't know exactly how that works. I'm sure maybe in her heart of hearts she thinks that's real, but I wonder who put her onto that, because that's a pretty obscure theory. There's a lot of people in France that push that, and how did that get on her radar? That's what I'm interested in. But
I get it.
She could be sincere. I don't know. That's speculative.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that really irked me that I watched the Full Send interview with Netanyahu was there was a moment where I forget who asked, I think it was Kyle asking about regime change to Netanyahu. And he essentially dismissed it and said, you know, that never works. And the people have to, he's talking about in Iran, because he's like, are you going to continue this in Iran? And he's like, what about the regime change? I don't know the exact wording, so don't quote me on it. But he essentially says that never works. The people have to want to rise up and make that change for themselves, right? And then I go, wait, isn't this the guy that for the last 30 years has been campaigning for regime change in all of those regions?
Yes.
That's true, right?
Yes.
Like he's gone to Congress and is like, if we do this, then, you know, democracy will sweep through the land. Like I'm like, is that fake? Is that real? And then to hear him get on a podcast and say regime change doesn't work, I was like, dude, I don't, that's the thing that I don't understand with this whole political sphere is like, do these people think that maybe it's because of technology or AI, but do they think that people don't remember things or don't think, maybe they just think we're just all so dumb?
I think they finesse the narrative. I think they're smarter than we give them credit for, in the sense that their propaganda is not blunt. It's very sensitive. So, you know, in 2003, when we invaded Iraq, Netanyahu said, yeah, we need to take out Saddam and spread democracy and all this. Now, everyone knows that's BS.
Well, yeah, the thing that was interesting to me is that everyone on the Republican side, the red side, whatever you want to call it, we all were like, that was a complete waste of time. 20 years, a bunch of American soldiers died, a bunch of money was spent for nothing. Nothing really happened. And everyone disavowed that. Everyone was like, this was a problem.
Right.
And then we're still going in the same direction with like the Lebanon, the Syria, all these things, the Iran, and we're still going in that same direction of changing, you know, who's in power, which also was interesting. I don't know if I'm wrong on this, but at some point wasn't there already an exchange of power in Iran? Like sort of facilitated by our government like years ago? Yeah,
in 53 we overthrew their government, but not recently, not since 79, no.
Okay.
But I think what it is they are and this is something to be on guard for. They have realized that people are hip to what they're doing. People know now. And so now they're finessing the language, and like, look, 90% of Republicans supported Trump bombing Iran. And
Yeah.
that's because they changed the rhetoric and they said, well, it's not nation building, it's not regime change. If it is regime change, it's coming from the bottom up, not the top down. This is all rhetoric. This is all like PR. It's like marketing terminology. It's like how you say fresh, never frozen. It's all slogans to get you to support the same thing. And so that's where people really need to be kind of smart. And like we said earlier, read between the lines. They're going to say, hey, we just bombed their nuclear program once. But in a month, they're going to say, we got to go back in. We didn't get all of it. And then after that, they're going to say, Iran is never going to give up their quest for a nuclear bomb. Their government has to go. And by the way, it's a distinction without a difference. When they say a grassroots uprising, who do you think's paying for it? That's the CIA, that's the State Department, that's the Mossad. We're rallying those people.
The stuff that historically they've even admitted to, like in the past.
Right.
So it's just interesting. It's almost as if like I wish they would just, instead of like doing the stuff and then telling us later that they did the stuff, like we're talking about earlier, the dinner with Trump where he's like, you guys get out of here.
Yeah.
I just want them to be like that.
Mhm.
I feel like I would respectfully, I would feel like they respected us more to be like, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with it.
Right.
Like, I feel like most people would be like, damn, can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like this smoke screen of what the reasons are and then the end result. And then like you find out 10 years later, well, this is actually what it was for.
Right.
What if they were just like, yeah, man, that's what we're doing. I think about that all the time. Imagine they got on the press conference and were like, listen, we want that shit. We're taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, I feel like Americans would be like, yeah, like not that
No.
it's good, but like it would just, I just feel like the respect would be a little different. Like because it feels sort of disrespectful when it's just like, under like is it invisible. And then guess what?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because they need us to support it. So they need to trick us for just long enough that we won't protest.
Don't
or
you think we're
resist it.
past that?
I think we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
But even still, I mean, every time you think that we are through the looking glass or on the other side, you realize how far we really are from the destination. Like, Trump bombed Iran. He ran on a promise of no new wars. And historically, bombing Iran was like synonymous with, we're not really going to do that, are we? Like, we fought Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and everywhere. Are we really going to do, like, bombing Iran was synonymous with like a superfluous Israel war. And yet Trump did it. The anti-war, no new war candidate bombed Iran. And 90% of Republicans were gung-ho. They said that was leadership. He handled it perfectly. He got in and got out. And you could say that's so foolish, but it's no more foolish than when they said mission accomplished in 2003, when they said we took out Saddam. We won. 20 years later, we're still there. So people are not as clever, I think, as you give them credit for. That's a thing. And they can manipulate the language and people will eat that up and they'll repeat it right back to you. Just like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, as we brought him up earlier, he said when Israel started attacking Iran, he said, we need to stay out of it, because that's what everybody was feeling.
Yeah.
But then when we got involved, he said, well, we need to stay out of it offensively, because we were shooting down Iran's missiles and we supported Israel's strike.
Defensively, yeah.
Right. Well, he said, we can be in it defensively, but not offensively. And everyone said, okay. Then Trump said, we may have to bomb their nukes. And Charlie Kirk said, well, Trump always said we were going to bomb their nukes. He said they can never get a bomb. So we're okay with that offensive action. Then Trump did it, and the next day said on True Social, regime change comes from the bottom up. And Charlie Kirk said, well, some regime changes are okay. And you see how over 2 weeks, he kind of strung everybody along. And we started with, we need to stay out of it, to, well, we bombed them offensively, that's okay, and maybe some regime change we're okay with.
Like the goalpost keeps changing.
Yes. And people fall for it heavily.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, these conversations are they're so because there's it seems like there's no real way out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you wonder, because whatever would be the way out of it would be necessarily unprecedented.
Yeah.
So it's without precedent. You don't even know what that looks like. It would look like Trump, but it would just need, like you said, though, how do you get somebody who's not going to listen to the suits? When when the men in black come in and say, hey, listen, pal, this is how it really works.
Yeah.
The CIA or Israel runs the show. How do you beat that? You don't know, because it's happening in the shadows. It's a secret war.
So you don't have you normally have pretty good guesses.
Hmm.
You don't have a guess for this.
My guess, I mean, so much is going to change in the next 5 years. There's going to be so much destabilization.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your guess.
Yeah, I mean, between AI and
That's what I was going to talk about.
yeah, I mean, then that's where it's all pointed. That and the changing world order and the economy, this debt crisis we're in. You have to think there's going to be some calamity,
Yeah.
and very vaguely, someone can get in the middle of that. Maybe.
Yeah. So the big beautiful bill thing, right? Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff. There's like border stuff, all this money being spent. There, Elon saying the debt's going to increase, all this stuff, and then Trump saying it won't because of the way the economy will shift. The one thing that I saw in there that was like, wait, this is really interesting for us as Americans. All of it is, right? But this one thing, there was I don't know what specifically how it's worded, but it basically says that like for 10 years, you cannot sort of challenge this AI space. Like you can't bring up lawsuits. You can't shift what these companies are doing in the space. And for me, I hear that and I go, that has to be one of the most important pieces considering social media, the internet, how people get information or don't get information, and the ability to control information and, the idea of the dead internet theory and all these things where it's like, it seems like they're going to have like a vice grip on what people believe or what people see or hear and also information about us. Cause from what I understand, it's like, back after 2011, back after 9/11, not 2011, back after 9/11, the Patriot Act and this whole like, now they're sort of like way more visibility. They can see what we're doing. They know they have more information about us. This was like that to a crazier degree with AI. And
Right.
it seems like I don't know if this is true. I don't know how much you know about this, but like almost like social credit score type stuff. Like there's all these things that are, I guess what I'm afraid of just being that I'm in this space of content creation and like outward, reflection about what's happening in life that is that going to just at some point just become a wash where AI is so good that they make a Jim Fuentes who is exactly opposite of you, who completely counters everything you say, just as good as you say it. And maybe he's a little more Mexican than you. I don't know, dude. But he has the same haircut,
Yeah.
and he just shits on you. But it's like AI. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I have this Black Mirror up idea where I'm like, dude, we're going there. I feel like we're going there because when I saw in the bill the whole like, you can't challenge this for 10 years. I was like, oh, so they only need 10 more years.
Yeah.
in my
yes,
head.
Yes.
I go, that's where we're chalked.
That's literally, well, yeah. I mean, so it was a moratorium on AI regulations.
Yes.
So no state could regulate AI. And the 10-year thing is critical because when you listen to Sam Altman at OpenAI, you listen to all the experts, they say artificial superintelligence is when it goes from 0 to infinity, when it achieves recursive self-development, which means AI is improving AI, and the rate of improvement becomes exponential. They say that may be 7 years off. They say artificial general intelligence, which is when it's like good at most complex tasks, that's going to happen before Trump leaves office in 2029. So
Yeah.
they're thinking 27, 28.
And you say tasks like human tasks.
Yeah, no, like a doctorate program, like PhD level work in every field.
Holy shit.
When one model will sort of, because there's agents for everything. You have like language models, but you also have models that do biology and medicine and science. And so they say, can you bring all the agents together into one model that is smarter than all humans? You get AGI, and then that very quickly becomes artificial superintelligence. And it is literally like a 10-year window that they're thinking something like that. If you ban AI, this is not just like the biggest thing for the country, it's like the biggest thing for humanity.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of companies in China and the United States that are working on this, that have the capability. And within years, it's going to change everything about mankind in the world. And they try to slip this into this big, beautiful bill with a stupid name alongside Medicaid cuts, corporate tax cuts, immigration funding. They eventually pulled it. There was a lot of outcry about it, and some of the senators protested. But
So they pulled it out.
they did. They took it out.
Oh, so it's not in there.
No.
Oh my God, I feel so much better.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah.
bro, because that to me was like, yo, that's it. That's the end.
It is, yeah.
I'm damn. They actually pulled it.
They did.
Whoa, so there is hope.
Yes, there is some hope.
Holy
The system.
That made me feel way better,
Yeah.
bro. Because that to me, I was like, that's the end of social media. That's the end
Yeah.
of everything.
It is. It's literally but it's still progressing at the same rate. It's just that now some of the states could regulate it for safety.
Cool.
Or other things.
Thank God, bro. You gave me a sigh of relief there.
White
What do you
belt.
think's gonna happen with AI? Like, it just feels like we're going to Skynet. We're going to Terminator land. Like, it's
It's freaky. Yeah. I mean, when you combine it with the data that they're extracting from everybody, they have all this data on everybody. And when you think about every text message, every search inquiry, every email, photo, I mean, your phone is a walking tracking device, camera, microphone. And then you think about even worse. So all that information, they know you better than you know yourself. It's all going into one system. And that's already being interpreted by algorithms. Now it's going to be interpreted by AI simultaneously with everybody all at the same time. But then you factor in the robots, and not just like the, bipedal, like humanoid robots, but what is a Tesla? A Tesla is a drone. It is a self-driving vehicle with cameras and sensors, and it can be controlled from a central location. So cars, submersibles, boats, the quadcopters, once you factor in that not only do you have all this data inside of AI about everybody all the time simultaneously, but also you have these autonomously controlled systems, you wonder, does someone like Sam Altman become like the king of the world? Or does AI become the king of the world?
Yeah, that's the
like,
thing.
it's scary.
That's the thing that I think, like, do the computers eventually recognize like how bad we are, and they're just like, yeah, maybe this will fix the earth.
That's the concern, and that they can deceive us about their rate of progress or about what they're capable of, the AI, strictly speaking. But also, even if that doesn't happen, what does that do for human beings? It almost makes human freedom impossible.
Yeah, it's a weird like, you get this golden ticket, but then, like, for example, the ChatGPT thing, I think somewhere recently I read they were saying that it's giving people like some psychosis or some crazy shit. And then beyond that, whether that's 100% true or not, I know people, younger kids for the most part, who like solely rely on ChatGPT to do literally everything. Like, I picture some kid being like, should I sit forward when I shit or should I sit up when I shit? Like, it's like they're asking this machine to give them answers for everything. Like, there's no way that makes us a smarter society.
Yeah. Well, it's been proven it doesn't already. It shows that people's brains are literally atrophying from using ChatGPT because it's taking away your ability to think. And it's going to get even better. I mean, and think about what is available is not even the best of what they have.
Yeah, of course.
For
That's how
internal
it's always
use.
worked. Government stuff, yeah.
So, who knows where we're headed, but it's a little terrifying. It's going to disrupt everything.
All right, so some conspiracy stuff. Aliens.
Fake.
Completely fake.
No aliens.
You don't think it's like some weird evolution?
No, I mean, if there's aliens, we don't know about them. Some people say aliens are demons. The thing about the aliens is all the, what do they call them now? They used to call them UFOs. Now they call them UAPs, unmanned aerial phenomenon or something.
The way that when the government describes it.
Yeah. Everything about UFOs comes from the DOD. Everything that we know about them or learn about them literally comes from the Department of Defense and the Pentagon, all these disclosures. So I think it's a big psyop. I don't think there's any aliens here. Do you believe in them?
Yeah. I feel like, and I know a lot of the reason why people tend to not is because of religious sort of beliefs. But I think it can exist regardless. I think it's as far as what we know about like our universe and how vast it is, it just seems silly to think that we'd be the only things here.
Right.
That's where I get caught up. Like, and it's not like a God didn't create this or it makes God not real. Like, I know people have that sort of discrepancy, but it just feels like it could all coexist at the same time, and it's too vast for it not to be.
Yeah.
I
think it's possible, but when people say there's like aliens here, I don't believe that.
Okay.
But I think they could be out there.
What about you? Maybe you're a snake guy.
Maybe I'm
person.
an alien, a reptilian. Yeah. I'm not a Nordic, that's for sure. I'm a gray.
So, okay, we talked a lot about tons of political shit. what do you do just for fun, like as a human?
I don't-
Also, we got to talk about the fact that you almost got killed.
yeah, that also happened. Well, what do you want to do first? What I do for fun, or when I got killed almost?
Let's get it out the way.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So I saw a clip of someone with a dirt bike or motorcycle helmet pull up to your house,
Mhm.
and that was your house,
Yes.
and they had a gun.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, after the election, I got really viral because I said, "Your body, my choice." I tweeted
Oh
that.
my God, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh my God, that was all over. That was on everything.
I know.
all these memes. Oh my God, that was.
Yeah, it was. It was fun until then my address went equally viral next
Yeah.
to it. Everybody posted my home address, my phone number, and so people started just coming to my
That
house.
definitely pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, oh yeah, pissed off, dude. It was insane. I mean, so the election was on a Tuesday. That weekend, 100 people came to my house, individually, driving by, walking by, taking pictures outside my house, throwing eggs in my house, just trying to f with me in general.
And what are you in there just like barricaded with a gun or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, literally.
That makes sense.
Barricaded with a gun. But most of it was harmless. But I hired private security for about a month, which cost a fortune. But
Yeah.
I had security out there. And then the security guard quit because he found out who I was.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we had this big security guard, and then he stopped showing up. So we had days without security, days with security. And that went on for like a month. And then it's finally started to cool off. And then I was doing my show one night, and I'm doing my show like normal. It was December 18th. I remember it was Stalin's birthday. I'm a big fan of Joseph Stalin. That's how I
Jesus
remember it. But so it was December 18th. And I'm doing the show. It's all normal. Things have been quiet. And I hear someone yelling outside, which was normal because we were having visitors all the time. So I said, whatever. But I checked the Ring camera, and I see the guy's got a gun. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, shit, I got to wrap this show up. But I didn't want people to panic, so I just wrapped it up as quickly as possible. And I finished the show. My producer comes in. I said, what's going on? Is everything okay? He goes, yeah, the cops are already here. I said, okay, good. I go upstairs to get changed, and I hear gunshots outside my house. I said, what the We didn't know anything for a whole day.
But you're in Chicago. That's pretty normal.
No,
I'm
not where I am.
I'm kidding. That's
People say that, yeah, but it was very strange, and we weren't told anything. So it turns out it was a kid. He was like 23 years old. He was little. He was like 5'3", and I guess he had a falling out with his college roommate. The college roommate beat the shit out of him, and they were best friends. This was in the summer of last year, and ever since that happened, this kid was on a downward spiral. He had to move home. He dropped out of school. He was hospitalized over this big psychological effect. He tried to sue the kid. He got in a hit and run crash and fled the scene, and the cops came to his house, and he was pissed. He lost his job. So this kid that came to my house, in Southern Illinois by the University of Illinois, he went to that guy's house, his friend, killed the friend, killed his
Holy
mom, killed his sister, killed his whole family.
Bro,
First.
what the?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And what was really fucked up, so he goes to the kid's house and knocks on his door with the motorcycle helmet on. And the family answers the door and says, oh, your buddy isn't home. He said, okay. And the victim's sister, tweeted the day it happened. She said, I'm trying not to freak out and be a Karen and call the cops, but there's a guy in a motorcycle helmet outside my house, and I'm afraid. When his buddy got home, the killer killed his buddy, killed the sister, killed the mom in the driveway, in the garage. He gets in his car, drives 2 hours to my house, directly to my house, doesn't stop, pulls up in front of my house, gets out. He's got his motorcycle helmet on. He's got a .22 pistol and a crossbow, a reloadable crossbow with
I
like
saw
a
that.
magazine.
Yeah.
And literally comes out with guns in each hand and knocks on the door and rings the doorbell. And he's literally standing out there with his gun in his lap, waiting for me to answer the door. And so he starts yelling, hey, Nick, come out here. That's what I heard during the show. And he's pacing around the house. He goes around to the back, goes around to the front. He's trying the door. So my producer calls the cops. Cops show up. He makes a break for it. He runs through the backyard, jumps over the fence, into the alley. He runs into a neighbor's basement, which the door was unlocked, kills their dogs.
Oh, bro, this
They got-
guy's
Yeah, so he's gone. So he kills their 2 dogs. I don't know what happened there, but he runs back outside. He shoots at the cops. The cops shoot him in the head. He dies. And we don't know anything else about him, but that was the story. And
holy.
so I think it had to do with that tweet. I think he saw my address. Maybe he thought he was going to be a Luigi Mangione copycat because that happened around the same time.
I see.
So and he was in the motorcycle helmet, so he's in like a costume. So I'm thinking he saw that tweet. He saw my address. He saw Luigi. He's some loser. His life is over. He said, I'm going to go and kill my buddy, and then I'm going to go and kill Nick Fuentes, I think was the idea. So, yeah, it was messed up.
That's pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever worry about more stuff like that?
I do, yeah. I mean, now I have security at my place. You have to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in general, people go out all the time. It's just that was such a special moment when, like, the whole world was, like, out to get me for a couple weeks. But in general, you just got to be safe, I mean, you know how it is. You're pretty famous, so, when you're outside, you never feel truly safe unless you got bodyguard or unless you're carrying or something.
I carry.
Yeah, you take precautions.
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so I didn't know it was going to get that deep because I actually didn't know the details of everyone else involved in that.
Yeah, it
which
was
is
messed up.
crazy. On a lighter note, I was going to say, what do you actually do in your free time?
I'm not a really social person. I read a lot. Most of my days is just reading stuff. I do play video games. I'm a big gamer.
Playing?
I play like map games like Civilization 5 and Call of War.
Okay, so have you ever played Warcraft?
No.
It's too old for you.
Yeah. Are you a Warcraft guy? MMO? Really?
No. See, you said MMO. That's World of Warcraft. I'm talking about the game before World of Warcraft.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
old I am. Yeah,
Ancient. Old head.
yeah, but it's the same. Like you build armies and you fight.
Okay.
There's
I
like,
did StarCraft.
It's just like StarCraft,
Okay.
but different races, like
Gotcha.
different factions. But it's the same thing where you build and you attack.
I'm surprised you're a gamer.
I'm a huge gamer, bro.
That's
Just
all-
as much
okay.
as I'm a gym bro.
So you're less gay then.
Yeah. Like I've spent, if not more time gaming than I have in the gym, which is definitely saying a lot.
Respect, dude.
Yeah, huge gamer, bro.
Let's go. I love gamers. And I do play a lot of Call of Duty now. I play Black Ops 6.
Nice.
I'm not that good at it, though.
That shit kind of fell off though. But so
did.
you just like you're. It seems like everything you do then is about what you do.
Yeah. And it's not even, I'm not like a hard on about it or whatever, but it's just what I love. This is just like my passion.
What about it do you love when it is so like decisive? It's so volatile. Like you say the wrong thing, it's like that's the worst person in the world. What do you love about it then?
Because it's just it's just like the theory of everything, I mean, there are some people that say that philosophy is political theory, that they're some would say they're the same thing. So, everything that I talk about, it's history, it's religion, it's philosophy, it's ideology, it's the story of the world. And I'm so interested in all of it. I want to understand life, So
Yeah.
that's kind of
I think
my
that's
big-
why I'm enamored by a lot of it too.
Yeah.
I think that's why, even like from a different perspective for me, but why I love doing the podcast is why I like speaking to people. It's just like understanding people, what makes them tick, why do they do it, what are their reactions to it, what did they learn, like how to be better essentially. Because for
Yeah.
me, it's just like my life was like, how do I improve myself to feel better about myself so that I feel good about who I am? Because my circumstances growing up were not the best, right? So that bled into, for me, the gym was a way where I was like, I know it's funny, jokingly gay, but I was finding like, oh, I can be good at this, I can improve at this. And then obviously the physical things came along with it that you're also like, oh, this is also cool. I got cool shoulders, whatever. But it was, and the core of it was to feel better about myself as a person. And so then understanding and learning from other people, typically you tend to take a little bit and learn more for yourself.
Right.
So that's why I do it all, and that's why I love it. I'm just curious. I like talking to people who get to positions where, of notoriety or some substance, and understanding how they got there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's what it is to be a real guy. To be like a real guy's guy is we love stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? We love like money and finance and business. I'm just enamored by all that kind of stuff. I'm the same way, very inquisitive.
Yeah. What about women? You don't date? You don't have like a
No, I don't date. I don't
after
have any.
after your body, my choice. That wasn't.
and
working.
that's not going to happen. Not after that.
It's not gonna happen for you, bro.
Yeah, it's over for me. No, I'm just not social in general. I don't have a ton of friends. I don't go out. I barely leave the house. I'm just not a very social person. I'm a little autistic in that way. I'm pretty insular, pretty focused on the mish
Yeah.
more than anything.
So Big Mac or Whopper?
Definitely Big Mac. Yeah.
I had to ask that. Sorry.
That was crazy. That was like beyond parody, right?
Yeah.
Other
just
than
'cause
the genocide. How's the Big Mac, bro?
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Mhm.
It was pretty, not funny, but not funny.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. Like, it's dark. Am I laughing?
Mhm.
I do like dark humor though.
Mhm.
I can't help it.
Yeah, me too. It is funny.
So, what was your take after doing the sort of little? I don't. Was it interview? What did they do with you on the live stream?
Yeah, they kind of just asked me my thoughts on their Netanyahu thing.
How did it get to that? I'm talking just for reference, for conversation's sake. We're talking about after the Netanyahu podcast, Full Send. Kyle and Steiny hit you up, and they were like, "Hey, we gotta do what?"
Yeah, I had never heard from them before, but I woke up at like 2 p.m. and my phone's blowing up. They said, "Oh, Nelk wants you to come on the show." That's how I heard about it. And they said, "Yeah, we want your reaction to the interview." So I said, "Okay." So I washed my face. I got on, and I think they were getting a lot of shit for that. They were getting a lot of blowback, and I think they were looking for the other side to come on and kind of tell them, you know, that what they did was okay or it wasn't that bad, and so that I was like the counterweight, which is kind of funny to think about. You know, it's kind of funny that they bring on Netanyahu and they think, we need to hear from the other side. Let's get Nick Fuentes, which is like Prime Minister of Israel, like live streamer, you know, that's the two. But
That you were the polar opposite.
yes, right.
Yeah.
That I'm the opposite pole. But yeah, so, you know, I heard them out and I understand where they're coming from. I think you would do it if Netanyahu wanted to come on your
Yeah,
show.
I
If you want to
absolute-
come on my show,
I think any of us would do it. I think it's just a matter of and see, this is the thing about the whole conversation. I don't know how it was set up. I don't know who organized it as far as like what could be said or asked or not asked. Also, even if certain things were asked, would they have been like, yo, you can't even put this out?
right?
Because yeah, I would have asked other questions that were a little bit more like I said earlier when he talked about the regime change and that never works. I would have said, well, weren't you the guy who said this 30 years that we
Right.
need regime change? And you know, speak to that. I would have asked those questions to directly question, and also I would have brought up the fact that, you know, third-party journalists are not allowed in Israel at this time.
Right.
Why is that? If everything you say we just have to take as truth, wouldn't that create some sort of like discrepancy with the public? Like, I would have asked those questions for sure.
Right.
And I don't know if they weren't allowed to or if they didn't know to. I don't know the truth of it. All I know is I saw something on Twitter where they interviewed him, and I didn't know about the interview at all. I hit up Steiny and was like, "Did you actually interview this guy?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Oh, that's might be a little bit interesting." Was my reaction. And he's like, "Well, we asked him some like good questions, and he basically said something about he finds it hard to be like represent that he's Jewish in America." And so I was like, oh, maybe they did press him a little bit. And then I saw the interview and I was like, oh, I see why. I see why they sort of got a little bit of backlash. But I don't think they're like just genuinely like bad. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they did, because I know them. I think they did go, this is going to be viral. I know right away they think that this is massive, because it is massive. And it's like everyone was like, holy, look at this. Let's talk about it. I think they could have went in with like just harder hitting questions to ask towards, you know, whatever he was saying, instead of kind of just going along with it.
Right.
Yeah, that's all. Again, if you ask me would I have done it, I would have done it.
Yes.
I would have been knowingly a little more critical. Like, even with you, I can't have a conversation with someone that holds certain viewpoints and I can't question. You have to question it.
Absolutely.
I can't just let you go like, man, this and this, and it's like, dude, it's because it's never that simple. There's nuance to everything. And for their interview style, because I know them personally, they don't really take that confrontational approach really with anyone. And you could look at that historically and know that that's true. I think the most confrontational one that they ever did would have been with a rest in peace OJ. But they were like, yo, did you do it? And I know that they were told, don't ask him if you did it or not. And they still asked him.
Right.
And I think that was the end of the interview. But I don't know how this was all orchestrated. And also, if they asked those harder questions, I also don't know if they would have been allowed to release it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I agree with you. And I said that to them. Like, obviously, you're going to take it because as a content creator, it's like you say, it's going to be a big interview. But the thing is, when it comes to pushback, it's just doing your due diligence. You're acting almost on behalf of the audience and saying, what would the audience say? What would a skeptical mind say in this circumstance? And I told them the only way to make it right or the way to make it fair is you got to interview the other side. If your goal is we're going to hear everybody out, we're going to hear out Netanyahu, we're not going to give a ton of pushback, okay. But unless you interview the other side, then it's propaganda. So you got to interview the pro-Palestine side. Or whatever.
Who do you think would be best for that?
I heard that, I don't want to say it, but I heard that they got hooked up with somebody who's pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
And I think that's fitting because it's an Israel-Palestine war.
Right.
But even an America First person, even someone like Tucker for that matter.
Yeah, I think Tucker would be great too.
A similar stature to Netanyahu in terms of notoriety.
Or you.
Or me, but I don't want to be a shameless self-advocate.
Yeah.
They should talk to me.
No, I think you do good on that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you would. I also wanted to have this conversation about all this anyways too. So similar audience base, I believe.
Yeah.
So your overall take on that, like what was your perspective? You watched the whole interview?
I didn't know. I
just
saw the clips. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just can't get out of my mind Sneako's reaction to the Burger King, the Whopper. That was like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. That was funny. It's sad because it's not funny, you know?
Yeah. That's like, yeah.
So have you ever gotten contacted by any of these bigger podcasts? Like how I hit you up a couple months ago. Like, do people hit you up and they're like, I want to, but I'm afraid?
Not really, no. I mean, it's just been this year that I've seemed to have gotten a little traction. I did the Hodge twins, who are conservatives in Vegas, and I'll probably do something with Dan Bilzerian soon. He's been wanting to do one, but no, I mean, I've been totally gatekept. I'm banned from Tim Pool. I'm banned from Piers Morgan. I'm banned from Patrick Bet-David. So, yeah, I don't have a ton of opportunities because I'm the most canceled guy.
But I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think we hit a lot of stuff. It's been a big conversation.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I wish you success, man, for real.
Thank you.
I hope that, you know, more of the, I guess, do you consider this a mainstream platform?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's sick.
It's huge. Yeah. Everybody, I told him on Bradley Martin, everybody's like, oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, dude, it was dope. And I wish the best for you. And I hope that nothing bad ever happens. I'm trying to put that out there, but
likewise.
Yeah, it's been good.
Thank you, man. Thanks
so
for
much
having me.
coming.
Yeah. Great conversation.
Awesome,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Sheepy. Squirrel. Sheepy. Squirrel.
If you're gonna save the day, ain't you hearing what I say? I feel your touch, your kiss, it's not enough. And if you believe in me, don't take my love for real. I won't take nothing less than I need for let me tell you, you know I need a miracle, I need a miracle. It's more physical than what I need to feel from you. And let me tell you, you know I need a miracle, I need a miracle. It's more physical than what I need to get and you take me as I am. You always be the one to give me everything. Just when I thought no one can, you're the answer to my prayers. You lift my spirit high, come on and rescue me. Let me tell you, you know I need a miracle, I need a miracle. It's more physical than what I need to feel from you.
Couple years ago, I wasn't thinking speed thing. Now they pull up on me, different feeling, nothing been the same. Sometimes she never change, sometimes when she fall apart, it take me right there in the dark.
Venomicide. That was one of the 100 pro seals in the UIMs, right? Poison damage.
Get the fuck out of the block, it's so low. Yeah,
Venomicide. That was one of the 100 pro seals in the UIMs, right? Poison damage. Venom. Venomil. Venomil. Venomicide.
I said like, I wish that you was honest. You heard me pull my promise. Back then I played once I gave
Nice falling, nice falling, nice falling, nice
Make it money, so I can keep my profit weak. Lows on my fucking case, cause they know I'm feeling cheap. Make it money, push it out, I just want the key. Pay my business, make my money, then they bring it back to me. I'm a nigga that the laws always choose to give the chase. Lock me up, I'll make you feel, cause that bitch ain't got no case. I'm back on the fucking street, time to check up on my bitches. Those hoes make cash, then they bring me all the riches, then they bring me all the project back. Project back, don't give a fuck. 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 Project back, don't give a Make it money, so I can keep my profit weak. Lows on my fucking case, cause they know I'm feeling cheap. Make it money, push it out, I just want the key. Pay my business, make my money, then they bring it back to me. I'm a nigga that the laws always choose to give the chase. Lock me up, I'll make you feel, cause that bitch ain't got no case. I'm back on the fucking street, time to check up on my bitches. Those hoes make cash, and they bring me all the riches, and they bring me all the project back, don't give a fuck. Project back, don't give a
last century.
They got me boiling like a pot of coffee. Call me Gaddafi, a John Gotti. Leaving number bloody bodies. When I need a scene, I'm smoking like green and sipping here. Scoop up all my friends, time to do this gangsta shit again. My niggas rolling deep, we creeping, crawling and balling. And bust her ass, niggas finna stop calling. Shoot the dead cash, shoot the AK. Nigga don't play, hit a scoop and smoke your ass like a fucking hay. The wrong thing, the wrong niggas, the wrong guns, the wrong motherfuckers, shit that real Break
Last Century will accompany you. Have a nice trip.
Last century.
Evil springs from the dark side, telling me to kill a kid. 9 times out of 10, you just gotta comprehend. Listening to them voices, hearing noises in my bed. 12 o'clock at midnight, waking up in a cold room. Outside of that, they put the 9mm, yeah. Coughing up some blood, get the gloves, coughing up bullets, look in his brain. I'm insane, like, it's the DLG. 12 o'clock at midnight, waking up in a cold room. Outside of that, they put the 9mm, yeah. Coughing up some blood, get the gloves, coughing up bullets, look in his brain. I'm insane, like, it's the DLG. 12 o'clock at midnight, waking up in a cold room.
say, all my fellas,